Yes, they lost, but they'll be treating that like a win. You couldn't have expected any more than that. I thought that was a phenomenal performance. You've got half a sample side. I thought that was an enormous performance. Some games you lose, but you treat as a win, and I'd be doing that if I was Port Adelaide. I just thought they were enormous. We know that Dixon, we know that Finlayson, we know that Bergman, Jones, Aaliyah, there's no ruckman. So what they produced last night is half a sample side.
You can treat it as a win, though, Kane.
Well, you can. I would be.
Kane, I think the allegation is you're completely biased.
Now, there it is. Well, Kane, I'm your biggest fan. I'm all in on you, as you know, and I've been there from the outset. But you've got a complete blind spot when it comes to Port, and that needs to get called out.
So?
You are illogical when it comes to this footy team. You are.
It's incorrect. I call it.
It was a very, very strong performance by a severely undermanned team.
I'm having a chat to Kane for the moment.
Well, I've got an opinion too.
You're uncompromising on 17 teams, and then your own team, which has lost to 5th place Carlton, belted by 11th place Adelaide, 9th place Geelong, and an out of form Collingwood, lost 4 in a row, and you're doing a lap of honour like they're there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You had Butters, Rosie, Horn, Francis, Wines, Power Pepper, all the All-Australian midfields playing, and you just continue to give them an out. No,
I don't. Last week against the Showdown, I called their performance embarrassing. That's what I said about Port Adelaide's performance. I said that they talked too much leading into Showdowns, and that had come back to bite them, and that was embarrassing. So I call it as I see it week to week. To go down there with up against 17 premiership players with half a sample side.
And 17 premiership players are all playing the back line of their careers.
It was last year.
No Hawkins,
Hutchy, it was like 17 premiership players from last year. Last year they go to Geelong, where they haven't won since 2007, with a team full of kids and half a sample side and lead into the last quarter.
You keep saying half a sample side, but all the best teams have got players out.
Do they? Yeah. They've got that many. They've got both their key forwards, both their defenders, their ruckmen, and a whole host of running defenders. Now, what I was trying to say...
The problem is their depth isn't strong enough as the other teams.
That's what I've been saying all year. If you'd been listening to me, I've had concerns about their depth, and I'm sure Lordo could back me up on that. I've said all year, Port Adelaide have significant issues behind the ball in their key defensive stocks and in their ruck, and that's the reason I don't think they can win the premiership. That performance there, I was incredibly, thrilled by. If you're a Port Adelaide fan,
what other losing team have you ever given an out to?
I would have done the same to Carlton. I would have done the same to Carlton yesterday. They had 7 of their best 15 out. That's why I thought that was their best.
You'd have come in tonight and said that would have been a great effort from Carlton.
Yeah, if they went to Geelong and took on 17 premiership players and did that. Now, that's not to say that Port Adelaide don't have issues and they need the wheel to turn for them shortly. But psychologically, as a coach, you're looking for little things to get in the psyche of your players. After 4 losses, I'd be taking a glass half full approach on the back of that.
Have they wound you up on this point?
No,
you're famously close to them. Have they wound you up to say?
No. You're being ridiculous now. He has been one of their harshest critics this year. Excuse me, I sit next to him, he has.
How have they handled the Ken Hinkley situation? Now we're into August. Do we feel they've got it wrong? Because you win 13 in a row, you could sign him and it would have been one of the great fanfare. They could lose 5, 6 in a row. What do they sign him
How would you feel if they announced in the next few days? Off the back
I want them to. I want them to, because I think that it was always, for me, it's about winning a premiership and having everyone as settled as possible. So I think it's just dragged on and on and on. And anyone who's wanting to sign a contract as a player or a star, you just want to feel like you know where you're going and you're wanted. And this
Chris Davies as good as said it on radio the other day. Ken is as good as said it on radio the other day. I don't think you're going to make... there's a nature of a showdown I even can't pretend to understand, but I can understand you couldn't have announced it last week amongst all the drama, the debacle of Aaliyah and the doctor and everything. They couldn't do it last week. I wouldn't be surprised if... I hope they do it this week too. Yeah. And if not, next week.
On Chris Scott, Hutchy, you know him better than anyone, but I just want to ask you, do you think his language changed or have I taken out of context just from one question? Here's Chris Scott on the weekend compared to the previous weeks.
We get to our best footy, then we can beat all of them. I still think that's the case. We're getting close to our best footy, which we're pretty confident that's going to be hard to beat. We are confident that if we do get it right, our best is very, very good. I'm not sure that I'd be panicking if we lost it. And look, I'll be frank with you, even if we lose the next few games and miss the finals, I'm not going to be panicking. We're going to keep fighting.
You never know what sort of question is asked, but it's sort of... I just wonder if the injuries and the way they're playing, even he...
Maybe he felt it was time to change gear slightly and that he'd put the pressure on them or the expectation that they could do it. But with Blitzarves and Hawkins, maybe just decided time to give them the...
And maybe on Kane's point, that the way they had to fight and struggle against the...
They were playing against a sample side, though.
Well, they were. Half a sample side.
Yeah, half a sample side.
That's a fact.
Yeah.